first time I went abroad, it was like magic. Right now it doesn't feel so much like magic. Oh my god. I just don't really know how to enjoy myself in the city. That was frankly mildly embarrassing, but I've been kind of homesick. You know where I find myself when I don't know where to belong? The street with all the Chinese restaurants. Oh my god, it's not going. Wait, it's not happening. Are you making that face? Because hey, my name is Emily, and this is the second video about my semester abroad in fall of 2022. To give a quick recap of the last video, I left California to fly to Paris, and after a week of orientation and hanging out, all of us from the USC Paris Program moved in with our host families and started going to classes. Thus concludes the honeymoon period. Enter the rocky start to my time in Paris. Sorry, just have to close the window really quick because people are smoking outside. You can see my mosquito bite, by the way. They love me here. This is also from a mosquito. Isn't that great? I just wanted to talk for a little bit because I found it somewhat difficult to adjust to living in Paris. I just don't really know how to enjoy myself in the city. Today is the start of, I guess, hopefully around a week of me trying to establish my life in Paris because I'm gonna be here for like another almost 4 months. So today I'm gonna go rock climbing and then I'm also gonna find a cafe to study in and we're gonna see how that works. So, Oniba. Let's go down some stairs. Okay, not gonna lie, this is terrifying. Oh my god. Okay. It's not my favorite. My intention with this day of climbing and cafe hopping was to fill this day with comfort activities that would hopefully make Paris feel more like home. But all of that didn't do much to change the fact that Paris is still Paris, you know, one of the most historic, beautiful, and lonely cities in the world. But to be fair, it's not all Paris's fault. There were other things going on in my life. I just left everything and everyone that I knew behind for a new city in a new country, speaking a new language. I was also navigating a confusing end to a relationship. And at this time, I was struggling socially because there were only 5 of us in the USC Paris program. And once we moved in with our host families, we got scattered all across Paris, and it became really hard for us to meet up, especially because we didn't have as many overlaps in like our schedules and what we were interested in doing. And as much as I love learning French and challenging myself to speak it, it's still honestly stressful every time I open my mouth and expose my accent. It was frankly mildly embarrassing, but the thing that's simultaneously beautiful and terrifying about studying abroad is that you're not there to be just a tourist on vacation anymore. You're trying to live your regular life, but in a completely new context. And all of this, I guess, is a bit psychologically demanding. At least, it was for me. The first time I went abroad, it was like magic. Right now it doesn't feel so much like magic, and I thought about why that was different, and really it's because the life that I've left behind is one that I really enjoy. When I first went abroad, that was when I was pre-med, and I was kind of in the mindset that this was the last time I was really going to ever enjoy myself, because it was the summer before sophomore year, and it was the only time where I felt like I could do something with my summer that wasn't oriented toward getting into med school. When I went and studied abroad, that was like the first time that I was sleeping like 8 hours a night every night, and I just like had elevated my quality of life, and I felt like I was like choosing things that I liked in my life. My takeaways from that are, number one, that I'm really lucky now that I found like a job that I like, and number two, that I should maybe try and emulate what I was doing 3 years ago. Maybe I just need to figure out how to enjoy my life here and kind of keep an open mind. And I suppose that's just what it's like with study abroad. For a while, I didn't really know what to do, so I just let myself get swept along, and sometimes that worked out well for me. Like here, for instance, we're on a USC planned excursion to Chartres, a village about an hour away from Paris. In these moments, I would experience pockets of happiness, but I wasn't quite sure how to make these moments of happiness happen on my own. I guess you could say I wasn't sure how to break out of my own shell. It's funny because this makes me sound like the biggest introvert there ever was, when actually I'm quite the extrovert, but there's a difference between being energized by social engagement and realizing that I just don't really know how to enjoy myself in the city. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't come to this realization fully on my own. Shout out to my host mom for doing me a solid by calling me out on my BS. We were having dinner one night and she was like, "Est-ce que tu aimes rester à la maison?" which translates to, "Do you like staying at home?" And I was like, oh my god, no. But I understood why she asked that, because at this point I'd been spending most of my free time doing homework and moping around at home. And long story short, she was like, "Bro, you gotta get out there while the weather is still good." After that conversation, I realized I'm not very good at making things happen in my free time, because either I don't have free time to begin with, or I've always had someone else's plans to cling on to. And so I resolved to just keep pushing myself to go out in the world and, in the words of Yes Theory, seek discomfort. So here I am for the first time making plans and going to them, even though no one else could join that day.
This is normal, I guess. Oh my god. Oh. Guys, I'm dumb.
I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty challenging for me and I was super self-conscious the whole time. But I did end up having a nice conversation in French with one of the baristas I ordered from, so I don't know, I consider it a pretty successful day. And so I was like, alright, let's keep doing this. started seeing improvements in my happiness the more I opened up and got comfortable with putting myself out there. But it still wasn't easy, and there were still some days that I'd just wake up and cry. Fortunately, I learned that it was usually possible to turn my day around.
Let's go.
In the scope of my study abroad trip, not that much happened at this point, and classes had barely even started, but these first few weeks were an emotionally difficult time for me due to a variety of factors, some controllable and some not. And at this point, we were 3 weeks into the experience, and things were still mixed, but at the very least, my mindset had changed, and that's going to be a catalyst for other great things that happened later this semester. If you're in a similar place, whether you're studying abroad or you've moved to a new city or some other similar situation, I want you to know that sometimes it just takes a little time and initiative. For me, things got better through a combination of 1, waiting out the initial hiccups with optimism, and 2, continuing to put myself out there. There's a whole 3 more months of vlog footage to get through, so feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of these little baby deer steps I'm taking in my study abroad experience. Also, this video took forever to edit, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care!